Welcome back. Let's go.
You heard this theory, and it's called the Jesus.
I think we know that this happened recently. Check it out.
Edited and censored CJ Stroud, and people are furious. So CJ always starts each interview the same way, thanking Jesus. But NBC decided to edit that part out and push it on all their social media accounts. This is what he actually said.
First and foremost, I just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been amazing.
And this is the way they edited the clip.
What does this moment mean?
I mean, it's been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been. But
this is a disgraceful act by NBC, and they need to do better. NBC
assisted with one of the biggest discoveries in science in recent memory, the Higgs particle.
So this is a prediction from the 1960s, a mathematical prediction. Then, about 10 years ago, we decided to build the biggest scientific experiment ever built, 16 miles in circumference underneath Geneva. We accelerate protons, which are these simple particles, to 99.999999% the speed of light, at which speed they circumnavigate this ring 11,000 times
You
a
get
second.
them spinning around this ring really fast.
One the other way. We collide together, 600 million of these every second. In every collision, we create the conditions that were present less than a billionth of a second after the Big Bang. We take photographs of those 600 million collisions per second, and we find out this guy from 1965 was right, which is, I think, one of the most remarkable achievements.
My man's is talking about banging particles together and recording what happens. And what does this sound like? Who do we know that uses some of the same technology to bang particles together to experience what happens once they do?
And in Ohio State University, where they were feeding rabbits diets that were extremely high in cholesterol. And they found, to their amazement, there was one group of rabbits that never got the high cholesterol levels. After a while, they found out that the technician who was feeding these rabbits, instead of just throwing the food at them, he would stroke them and pet them and cuddle them and kiss them and then feed them the same poisonous food. But now, as a result of that experience of happiness, they made chemicals inside their brain and the body that turned the cholesterol into a completely different metabolic pathway. So it's not just the food you eat, but what your awareness, what your consciousness and your state of emotions is at the time you're eating. Your state of mind can convert nectar into poison and the other way around too, poison into nectar.
Told you when the peak of crypto was going to be. If you use Ethereum, if you use USDC, what are the two first letters? All the addresses where you send money.
Oh yeah.
OX, right?
OX, yeah.
OX. So here's the thing. 2021, when crypto peaked, was the year of the ox. So they actually told people through the addresses, that's only one animal sign of all the animal signs. I interpreted that 2021 would be the peak. So yes, I do think there's going to be another run, but I think 90% of these cryptos are going to go bust very soon.
I wish I knew you in 21.
Ethereum, I think, is here to stay, because if you look at Ethereum, it has a pyramid at its logo. To me, that's a sign that they're connected to the higher powers because they're paying homage.
How many of you guys wish that you had bought some Ethereum now, huh? But listen, he said something very interesting at the end of the clip. He said that he thought Ethereum would stick around for a while because their logo is a pyramid, and they are actually paying homage. Now, you hear this thing about paying homage to your ancestors all the time, and about acknowledging them, and doing the greater good in this lifetime to not only uphold your family lineage, but to also represent your ancestors. So what if, in a little bit of a way, this is the only thing that's been going on this whole time? Maybe it's not something super satanic, or maybe everything is not like, a crazy ritual that's gonna, hurt everybody. Now, sometimes it is, but what if it's just that they're paying homage to their ancestors?
The moon is rusting.
I've heard about it.
So there's this kid that took the most high quality picture of the moon ever taken, over like 2,000 images that he combined, and you can clearly see that the moon is rusting. And then I saw this on NASA. Research indicates the presence of hematite, a form of rust that normally requires oxygen and water. This has scientists puzzled. Hematite is a name that is derived from the Greek word meaning blood.
All right.
Joel
Crazy.
2, it says, "The sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls in the name of the Lord shall be saved."
That's weird.
It's throughout scripture, the moon turning to blood, and like, what does that mean? So like the Bible, it was ultimately translated into Greek at one point, right? And the Greek word for blood is hematite, the same word that they use for this rust.
Yeah.
And so it's like the moon has hematite on it.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's all gonna end soon, see you better.
End time.
The moon with the hematite in the blood is very interesting. And him putting those connections together is even more interesting. Check out this next clip.
Look like every video of UFOs was filmed on a baked potato.
First of all, this is an intelligence. If they made these craft and they're advanced, it's an intelligence. So like, I know when you're trying to record me, I'm aware of your technology. What says they're not aware of ours? The iPhone? Bro, that is not what you're seeing on the videos I'm releasing. What you're seeing in these videos is you're seeing this layered sensor systems. So you're seeing heat signature, thermal, that's the black and white. You're seeing infrared, and in infrared is the light spectrum outside of what the eye can see. So if I take my NVG's night vision goggles, hold them up like that to the sky is littered with stars. Your eye can't pick that up, but the NVG can. So when you film through that, wow, you can see whole spectrums of light. You can even film in the ultraviolet. You can get radar returns. You get optic systems that are so powerful. So that is a false argument that people make. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, he needs to start thinking and not just talking.
I completely agree. This Neil Tyson dude is
In society, some things don't make sense. People in positions of power have to pay homage to their masters. Example, 13 is the 13 bloodline families. The ways that they pay homage to these people in society is very hidden in plain sight. McDonald's, big M, right? Marathon gas station, big M. Why do they signify the M? Because M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. If you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, they were called the team the 76ers because of what happened in 1776. That's the logical thinking. But they don't call them the 1776ers. They call them the 76ers. What's 7 plus 6? 13. There you go. The San Francisco 49ers, 4 and 9 again is 13. So they do things like this hidden in plain sight.
So did you guys hear about Taylor Swift right before the Super Bowl? On CNN radio, they had a breakdown of her in the number 13, right? This will be her 13th game. She was born on December 13th. If you didn't catch it, you might be able to search YouTube and find it. It's very interesting. But this guy gives another representation of the number 13 as well.
Guy even real? This interviewer got shocked after this guy he was interviewing started to expose the truth about our reality.
People are just walking in front of it like we're not recording.
It happens. People are people. None of it's intentional. Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence. It's far more likely that they're all in their own worlds, doing their own thing. They're not paying attention to the world around them. And we all do it every day, whether you're driving, walking down the street. All of our lives are just as complex as everybody else's. Everything you have going on, they have going on. Nobody knows what everybody else is going through. We all just need to be a little more self-aware and aware of the world around us.
That was deep.
You gotta look deep to find the deep things. If all you ever do in your life is stay at the surface, you'll never find anything worth exploring.
Are you real?
I try to be.
Are you an AI?
No, not at all.
Is this guy even real?
Don't you love it when you meet people and they're just phenomenal? Yes, I love that when you can go out and meet people and they're just next to amazing.
Bro, look at these clouds.
Phenomenon, dude.
What is going on?
That?
What is that?
Okay. But look over there. There's a circle one that's the actual cloud. Yeah. It's like a missing puzzle piece or something.
What is going on here with these clouds?
So we saw this clip last week with Mr. MBB. And he had some people out of Florida send him this video. Now he did do some different formatted color on the videos to show you that it was real, what you were looking at, and that it wasn't something that he faked or drew up, or it's not CGI or anything like that. So here we have more footage of the same thing that has happened in Florida. It's just from different people and different angles, so you can see more of the sky.
Pineal gland is the third eye. When you read the story of Pinocchio, Pinocchio has two words: pine, P-I-N, pineal gland, and occhio is ocula. Occhio in Italian is eye. That's why you go to an oculist. So Pinocchio means the pineal gland. Pinocchio is a puppet. He's not a real person. In order to become a real person, to ascend, you have to activate your pineal gland. You have to stop telling lies. You have to stop being deceived by your friends. You have to stop going to the circuses and the shows, as all the philosophers have ever said, getting drunk, intoxicated with drugs, and to be sober. So the pineal gland is the third eye, and it's our highest consciousness. If you want to be real, just read the story of Pinocchio and activate your Pinocchio.
The story about Pinocchio. Now, this is an interesting meaning to the story of Pinocchio. Of course, throughout time, the story of Pinocchio has been decoded to mean a lot of different things. But this is the first time that I've heard that it was about the pineal gland, which it makes sense. And then also, I know the symbol for the pineal gland is a pine cone. It is in Egyptian hieroglyph. So I thought this clip was pretty cool.
About the Solomon Islands.
The statues?
That's the Easter Islands.
Yep.
Which those ones are wild too. But they're over by Australia. You got these guys, they're driving up out to these mines to check out, I don't know, you do what you do with the mines.
Yeah.
You survey them. It had rained and the road is slick. They slip and slide and they zip off the side of the road.
Sounds like Dr. Seuss.
They're like, all right, how do you get the truck back on the road? We're going to walk back to town, get 30 dudes together, and we're just going to try to push the truck back on the road. They roll back into town, and as they arrive, there is something else there. There are two roughly 15-foot tall giants.
Whoa.
They had put the truck back on the road. They freak out. The 30 dudes see these very large people. They got red hair.
Oh.
They dip out. They're like afraid, obviously. They go back. The car's still there, but it had been raining.
Footprint.
And there are tons of stories in the Solomon Islands. Like, yeah, giants live in the mountains.
They said they were 13 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Have you guys heard anything about the Solomon Islands? This is not my first time, but this is my first time hearing this story, about the guys in the car and all of this. But I wonder, is it true that giants live on the island? I wouldn't be surprised, because we have all type of beings that live on this earth, that live among us, that live underground, that live in the water, that, people know that are there. They just don't talk about it, right? So let me know. In the comments below, let me know if you've heard about Solomon Islands.
Love this sister Jane Elliott because she always speaking that real.
Believing the myth. In this country, what we call education is actually indoctrination. And it takes us from the age of 5 to the age of 18 to thoroughly indoctrinate people so that they will believe in the myth of white superiority. And it is a myth.
Right.
Now, you can't do that while you're teaching that Columbus discovered America.
Right.
There were black people on this continent 4,000 years before Columbus was born.
Right.
Like it or not, our people have always been in America.
Okay, so what she's speaking about goes back to my third or fourth video where we talk about the ships and how the ships are not there because we were already here. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope you stay wealthy and stay healthy.